Hey y'all, it's Valerie here. I garden in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains in Zone 6, West Virginia. Thank you guys so much for being here to hang out with me. Today we're just going to do like we always do and get some garden chores done, get a few things taken care of, and check mark it off the list.
This is our old rotten stump that we've planted succulents all over. As I said before, I accidentally hit the record button and shut off the fucking camera. This is our succulent stump, and we've got a couple of these really pretty hens and chicks growing in it. And right now I'm getting ready to plant another one. I've dug out the side over here, so she's gonna go right in there. Here is the tag where we bought it. Alright, yeah, this is a bed frame that from a hotel that was donated to us. We're going to upcycle it and make it into a bed for our pumpkins, squash, not sure, baby, help me out here. Pumpkins, yeah. We're going to make it into a bed for our pumpkins. We're going to use it because it's solid metal, and whenever I'm weed eating, I won't accidentally zip down the pumpkins. It's a decent size. That's what she said. I'm going to use packing material and cardboard that I got from work, just leftover stuff. This is all just brown paper. So I'll get the bed lined in that, and then we'll put some compost over it. We'll cut some holes for the plants to go in so that they have their feet in native soil, and just move on from there. Okay, the grass is still a little high in here. I don't want to just lay the cardboard down on top of this because it's going to push up on it, and I mean, it'll still kill the grass out. It's not a big deal, but I think I am going to go get the weed eater and knock this down a little bit before I set about actually making this bed. Yeah, I lied. I'm not going to weed eat this down. I'm just going to yank out the tallest stuff with my hands and then get to it, because I don't feel like messing with the weed eater right now. I think it needs restrung, refueled, and all that fun stuff. Nah, yeah. It'd be alright. Promise. That's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to leave this center open because we're going to plant in there.
So I have these pitiful looking plants that one is a Burpee's butter bush, and the other one is small sugar pumpkin, and they really need to be planted out. They're struggling, and they really need to get in the ground before this heat wave hits, so that way they have the best chance of survival. That I'm putting those in. This is just up in my field. I know putting them here that the deer could eat them, but if I don't bury them, they're going to die, and if I do bury them, the deer could eat them and they could die. So I'm going to stick them in the ground and give them a chance. Yesterday I was planting those gourds and I started getting really bad cramps. If you've ever had them before, you know the kinds that feel like contractions. So I had to end up stopping. I did get it planted, but I want to show you where I stopped now. We did not get the rest of the compost on it, but I at least wanted to show you the after that I didn't get to show you last night because I came in and laid down with the heating pad. Okay, just for the sake of orientation, we're walking down my driveway, and I put this pumpkin patch, well, pumpkin and gourd patch up here. Hopefully they're not dead. It's pretty hot. Oh no, they're already starting to green up in the middle. Look at this. You probably can't tell, but those outside leaves are really, really yellow because they were stressed out in their pots. These leaves are so much greener. But I planted the 2 pumpkins here and here. And this one is a bush butternut squash. We will come back and top all these areas off with compost like the rest of the bed. So I have this bed of mystery plant that I planted right here, and I just wanted to show you. Looks like the jury's in, and I have feverfew, which is awesome because I'm one of those people that really can't stand the taste of cilantro. It smells like stink bugs. I didn't think it was because whenever I'd pull off a leaf and smell it, it smelled kind of sweet. So yeah, I have feverfew growing. Sitting here in the shade. We are in a very hot dry spell right now, as is a large part of the country from my understanding. It's really too hot to be out working right now, but I want to get a couple things done if I can before I go in. It all depends on whether I get too hot to do them. But the first thing I really want to tackle is I have these Alpine strawberries that are behind my greenhouse that I will show you in a second. And they are just not thriving. And I think what's happening, because they're in the same kind of growing condition as the rest of them, except for the sun hits this back side of the greenhouse more directly than the other side that my strawberries are growing on. So what I think is happening is the sun is reflecting off the greenhouse, and just all the ambient heat coming off the greenhouse is making these strawberries not thrive because they look really dry. And they do get moisture, so I would say it's not moisture. I think it's just the heat beating them up too much. So what I'm going to do is pull these strawberries out and replace them with some white sage that I have, because the white sage doesn't mind hot conditions with little water. So I figured it would be the perfect spot to put them. I've been trying to find a place to put them all spring, really. And then I saw these strawberries here, and it just struck me that, yeah, those would be a good place for it. So I don't know if I'm going to get all of that done right now, but the very first thing that I am going to try to get done is at least pull up these strawberries here that are struggling and get the roots soaking in some water in the shade, and then I can plant them later this evening, or at the very latest tomorrow morning. See what I'm saying, how crunchy they look? I'm not sure if that's focusing or if you can see it very well, but they're just all looking brown and kind of crunchy. So I'm just going to pull up any strawberries that I see along this edge here all the way over to this corner. So anything along this back here I'm going to pull. I'm going to go soak their roots in some water for a bit just to give them a nice drink. You know, I'm not going to do it for very long while they'll get waterlogged. And then we'll start the moving around of plants. I think the only type of strawberries in this part of the bed are the Alpine strawberries, so let's get them dug up and move to a more suitable spot. They seem to have nice healthy roots. They're just crispy. This one looks like it's doing the best, but I'm going to move it anyways. I'm going to go ahead and take all of them all the way over, because even though these ones don't look quite as bad, they're still a little bit more crispy than the other ones. There's that bed cleared out. Now I just have to replant it. And then I have this pile of roots here. I was going to take them over to some water, but I think I'm going to get something and bring the water to them just because it's so hot, and I feel like doing the least amount of work as I could possibly get away with. Okay, it looks like I got them all to fit, and I'm going to try to move them to my deck porch where it's shaded. So I was able to get them up there without spilling. Okay, that's it, y'all. I can't do any more right now. I'm going in and getting cooled down before I get heat exhaustion. I'll see you later this evening if it cools down enough. It's evening time, and it's cooler out here because the sun's not beating down, obviously. And the temperature is going down, but it is so humid still. But I'm at least going to try to get this tray of white sage in. Here they are. They have been in their containers for too long, and they're starting not to look as good as they did. So that is what prompted me to go ahead and put these in the ground real quick, even though it's hot. And I've got dinner on the stove. These strawberries have actually perked up a little bit since I put them in water. They're kind of standing up more. And since this is shaded, I'm just going to leave them here overnight, and I will tend to them either tomorrow early in the morning or in the evening tomorrow. White sage is the type of sage that's used for making smudge sticks. So it is a specific type of sage. Just going to plant it along here where this heat beats down, and hopefully they like their spot. There they are. I planted 9 of those, and hopefully they like their new spot and they just take off and bush out. It has to be better than being root bound in the pots. I just wanted to get those watered in because even the most heat-loving plant would suffer in a transplant on days as hot as it's going to be over the next several days. So I just gave them a little drink, and I'll probably give them another little drink in the morning just until they get used to being in the ground. All right, y'all. Even though it's getting dark out here, I'm sweating profusely, so I'm going to call it a night. I will pick up those strawberries on the next video. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until next time, bye.